You know, it's a tragedy how many people out there won't watch a single movie that's older than them, especially considering how most movies released nowadays are trash. But that's why I'm here, so let's rectify this crime against God and good taste. Cause today the Movie Howze is here to retro-recommend. After the muted success they had had with Dick Tracy, the following year the House of Mouse again attempted to have a Warner-level success with 1991's The Rocketeer. Unlike all the other IPs here, the Rocketeer was actually a pretty new character. The comics, created by the late Dave Stevens, debuted in 1982, but the whole aesthetic of the character was that of the old school Hollywood of the 30s, so it was a natural fit with all the rest of this, like, high adventure shenanigans. It's more pulp than some other self-proclaimed pulp characters. The plot concerns an experimental rocket pack created by Howard Hughes being stolen for a dastardly propulsive world domination scheme. By fate, the pack ends up in the hands of a down-on-his-luck pilot, Cliff Secord, and his engineer buddy, Peavy. And once Cliff uses the rocket pack in an act of heroism, the press dubs him the Rocketeer, and his exploits soon get the attention of the feds, the mob, a Frankenstein monster-looking cat, and even Nazi sleeper agents with Tinseltown on their tail. So now our hero must save his girl and ultimately the day, in a way only celluloid can deliver. Of all the movies on this list, The Rocketeer is the most upbeat and optimistic. It's clearly the reason why The Rocketeer's director, Joe Johnston, got the job helming Captain America the First Avenger years later. He understood the tone perfectly. He had proven a few years prior with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids that he knew how to helm an FX-heavy flick, which makes sense considering he was one of the original ILM crew, having worked on the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises. And that familiarity and confidence is clear with all the flying sequences here. Age has definitely roughed up the edges of the compositing, but it still does a great job capturing the euphoria of humans gaining flight. Johnston's one of the few filmmakers today that I think could make a great Superman movie. He would just need a really solid screenplay since the writing seems to be what undercuts most of his filmography. But besides a good director, there's a lot more that works here. The late James Horner provides a wonderful film score that taps into old-school Hollywood romanticism. Yes, I think we can all agree that the man poached his own work a few times too many, but it's because he was a very good composer and knew it worked. Then there's the solid as all hell cast. Billy Campbell makes for a lovable, if not dense, himbo Cliff Secord, which I'll touch on more later. The ever-wonderful Alan Arkin rocks it as Secord's mentor and partner in crime. The eternal beaut Jennifer Connelly truly looks at home in this golden age of Hollywood setting. So too does the criminally underrated James Bond actor Timothy Dalton as the Errol Flynn-inspired Neville Sinclair, modulating between smug charm and delicious villainy, seemingly with no effort. And then there's the supporting cast that includes the likes of Terry O'Quinn, Ed Lauter, John Polito, William Sanderson, and the late great Paul Sorvino. This flick radiates warmth like it's an old film projector. It even affects the villains. Case in point, this movie has one of my absolute single favorite honorable villain moments in all media. When the mob boss Eddie Valentine realizes he's been aiding Nazis.
I'm paying you well. Does it matter who I work for?
It matters to me. I may not make an honest buck, but I'm 100% American.
And I love that he ends up helping the feds at the end, fighting the Nazis. I mean, it's just gold. So why don't I love this flick? Well, the big thing holding back The Rocketeer from greatness is its hero. Cliff never really grows in competence as the movie progresses. It's a narrative structure used in countless stories. Let's use Johnston's own Captain America the First Avenger as a direct comparison. First, he can be completely out of his element and still fumbling with what he's capable of, which is why the rescue at the air show works so well. He should make mistakes at this point. That makes him relatable to audiences. Second time, we should see him showing obvious signs of improvement and greater confidence, though still not perfect. By the third time onward, the hero should be able to show why only he can stop the bad guys. But that never really happens here. Cliff's kind of shit all throughout, which makes him a frustrating hero to get behind despite his overall charm. And it seems like there was more than a few who shared my frustrations. While it was well received at the time of its release, it only made $46 million against a production budget of $35 million. To be fair, that probably had more to do with it competing directly against Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the second highest grossing movie in 1991, and a damn good movie at that as well. So The Rocketeer was relegated to a cult status, the type of movies that don't work for everyone, but for those that do, it's like a slice of fried gold. I know a lot of people who just adore this flick. I can see the appeal, but it never fully clicks with me. Because in the end, despite its good heart, I find The Rocketeer to be a midway matinee. But that's enough for me. I'd like to hear what y'all thought now. Like, comment, share, or subscribe if you feel so inclined. But more importantly, until next time, thanks, and stay safe out there.